road, feeling bad. Going down the road, feeling bad. Going down the road, feeling bad. Hey, yeah. Wanna be treated this way. Going where the water tastes like wine. Where the water tastes like wine. Where the water tastes like wine. Wanna be treated this way. Going down the road, feeling bad. Going down the road, feeling bad. Going down the road, feeling bad.
Hello and welcome to Backseat Broadcasting. We are back here with week 3 doing Texas Motor Speedway, doing the GTEs and GT4s as always on our Tuesday evenings. Be sure to join us for a special session of Thursday nights on Wednesday. So much fun. Right now we're just wrapping up a little bit of qualifying with these guys, doing a long oval route here with Doug Doucette. These guys really be cooking out there this evening. Some real fast cars for you. Can't wait to see the GT1s and the GT3s tomorrow out there. So I'm sorry the session indicator is not a little larger out there. I'm having to readjust some things seemingly every race now. So that is the difference, pretty much 9 seconds on the money between the GTEs and the GT4s. Matthew Smotherman, again, on pole in practice anyways. Just barely dipping into the 119s. Eric Foss, meanwhile, certainly not showing any sort of race pace out there. So here is Eric Voss, who has decided to join us yet again. With a 1:11.3, that would still be good enough for first out there with Gun Kim, who is a new racer with us in second place in practice here with a 1:11.4. And currently 30 seconds left in our practice session. Very cool paint by Jeremy Lapinus here. Looks like his grandmother stitched it for him for Christmas. Back down to the GT4s, we got Roman Bykov in the Coors machine. I think I've mentioned it before about the silver. Oh, goodness gracious. The silver paint that the McLaren F1 team used to run in the 2000s, but the paint was so heavy to get that metallic shine on it. And we saw last night, although MX-5s are the perfect example for it, that this slipstream is so beneficial out here. And getting those high speeds right. And we saw two random podiums last night at the very last lap, so hopefully we'll have just as much drama and fun this evening. Corey Mitchell in his little red Corvette comes across the line to start his first hot lap out there. Here comes Tyler Pierre Richards. Oh, excuse me. And that's Andrew Rasmussen in the GT4 class off the track at the moment. Kent Kruger coming out onto the straights. Craig Ream is first across the line with the 1:11.9 is the time to be as Adam Baltutis slots into second and Kenny Teal in third. Joseph Mayer in fourth. Casey Kuntz into seventh at the moment as Eric Foss comes across the line and does a 1:11.2, which is pretty good. It'll be stretched to see anybody beat that, and that's Gun Kim, who just slots right into second place as we saw in practice there. Ken Kruger into sixth and Eric Jensen down in 13th. Corey Mitchell gets himself onto the second row temporarily with a 1:12 flat. Ryan Walsh first across the line for the GT4s with 1:22.7. He's quickly beat by Matthew Smotherman with a 1:20.2, so just 2.5 between them at the moment. Stephen Liston here is in 10th, but then pushed down to 11th by Michael McCoy, who slots into 9th position with a 1:12.6. Ryan Walsh is pushed down yet again by Jacob Eating, who does just a 10th slower than pole position for the GT4s. And then Bryce Carter comes across the line, bumping Ryan down yet another place with a 1:22 flat. Craig Ream not able to do any better on his first lap. Adam Baltudis pushes himself up to 4th place, relegating Corey down to 5th. Stephen Liston across the line, good enough for 8th at the moment. Anthony Nguyen across the line with a 1:13.2, good enough for 14th. Stephen Liston pushed down to 10th position by Kent Kruger, who does a 1:12.363. Gun Kim goes a little bit faster, about a 10th faster. Corey Mitchell jumps up to 3rd, shaving about a few 2 or 3 tenths off of his first lap time. Eric Foss goes a little faster, I believe, and returns to the pit lane. Perhaps he does not feel he is that threatened back there. David Fendick still going around trying to set a time. Brian Zinn in 3rd position for the GT4s. Here's Doug Doucette, who I thought was racing in the GT4s, but Jacob Eating for the GT4s does a 1:19.7, best time we've seen from a GT4 yet. Very impressive out there, puts himself on pole at the moment. Adam Baltudis not able to do anything better about his time. Bjorn good enough for 16th at the moment. Doug Doucette does cross the line, does 1:12.6, that's good enough for 13th. We're still waiting on laps from Troy Banks, Roman Bykov, David Fendick. Robbie Campbell is out there, Vincent Wood, and we saw Andrew Rasmussen have some issues, but he's returned to the pit lane. Vincent Wood crossed the line for 16th position. Kent Kruger down in 9th at the moment. He was 3rd or 4th fastest in the practice session. He was your GTE champion from last season, and he has not had the best time out there, but he is also having lots of fun with all the new guys and taking more of an administrative role. Robbie Campbell comes across the line, pushes himself up to 14th position. Ryan across the line again, but barely able to go about 10th faster. Michael Johnson gets into the mix with 8th place there. Craig Ream returns to the pits. That's probably going to be it for his qualifying session. Corey Mitchell Tyler Pierre Richards only in 9th out there. That's Corey practicing his pit entry on the apron there. Deciding to give it a go instead of just pull over and call it quits. Eric Foss is back out on track here. Back out onto the oval section. Kenny Teals up to 14th place with a 1:12.658. Still waiting on a lap from Troy Banks here. He's coming out onto the oval now. We'll see if he's able to put one in. Roman Bykov does finally cross the line. He's good enough for 6th. He's not going to relegate Ryan down another position, as your top 6 racers are all in the pits at the moment. Here's Jeremy Lappin, is the last, the highest GTE on the track at the moment, in 7th place. And Troy Banks does set a time. He's good enough for 20th out there for us. He's going to get on the grid. Michael McCoy is only good enough for 12th at the moment. Used to seeing him battle at the front of the GTE stack like he was with Jennifer last week. I wish she was here. She would give us some. She would show us how it's done again. That's Jeremy practicing that pit entrance. Michael Johnson coming back out onto the straights here. He's got to pretty much do the majority of the NASCAR oval lap. Robbie Campbell still out there. Not able to go any faster, though. Pretty much identical to his previous time. Eric Jensen in the grass. Gary Beal is here in 24th position. Jacob back out there for the GT4, is warming himself up, maybe trying some pit entry practice there. David Fendick has enough time to put a lap down. But we just need to see one from him. And he's got 30 seconds to go. He's going to make it. What will it be? Still not able to get on the board, it looks like. That is unfortunate for him. 20 seconds to go. And that is it. That's Robbie Campbell trying something out here. Maybe. I hope he knows it is a rolling start. Jeremy not able to complete the lap after his pit stop tryout. And let's take a quick look at the grid. Please be lined up. And oh, goodness gracious, I can't even read that from back here. We're going to try something real quick on the fly. Please bear with us. We might be, coding on the fly. Who knows? That could be happening. And oh, heavens. I cannot find the code for that at the moment, so I'm going to do my best to read that up. That's Eric Foss and Gun Kim lining up side by side on the front row like we saw in practice, followed by Corey Mitchell and Craig Ream on row 2. Then we got Adam Baltudis and John Miller on row 3, followed by Michael Johnson, Tyler Pierre Richards, Kent Kruger rounds out the top 10. That's Stephen Liston in 11th, followed by Michael McCoy, Richard Swindells. Oh, sorry. That's Stephen Liston, Michael McCoy, Richard Swindells there. He's followed by Kenny Teal, Douglas Doucette, Robbie Campbell, Vincent Wood, Anthony Nguyen. Excuse me, I'm going to get that right. Bjorn Benches, Joseph Mayer. I'm skipping people here because I can't read. Bjorn Benches, Troy Banks is in 20th position. Casey Kuntz, Joseph Mayer, Eric Jensen, Gary Deal. And let's see. Michael Bond, David Fendick, and Ryan Matthews did not set a time for us. I sure hope the safety car is out there. This is not going to be a standing start. That would be pretty gnarly of us. Then for the GT4 class, we have Jacob Eating on pole position, followed by Matthew Smotherman, Brian Zinn, and then lining up next to Bryce Carter on row 2. It's going to be Ryan Walsh lining up next to Roman Bykoff, Andrew Rasmussen next to Jimmy Golahar. Although Jimmy did not grid with us. And it is great to see all these guys out on track. We have at least, 33 runners out there. A couple guys maybe going to start from the pits as well. So welcome everybody to Tuesday's GTEs and GT4s. Should be an awesome race here at Texas Motor Speedway as we go around the horseshoe infield section of the road course out onto the NASCAR oval. You can just see how far this long train of cars is today. Really good to see everybody out there. And it looks like we should have battles all over the track with how tight everybody was in qualifying. Take a quick look at the rest of the schedule for this season. We're currently in week 3. We're going to start the new year in Virginia before heading down under to get some sunny weather down in Australia at Mount Panorama in Bathurst. We're going to go to Watkins Glen and do the full boot track, and we are out there racing this evening. Eric Foss still out in front. He's followed by Corey Mitchell as Gunn is swept over by him. Everybody coming down to the first turn, the first major braking zone. It looks like everybody's making it through pretty politely. Corey Mitchell still holding on to second position there. Although there's Gunn on the inside, putting Corey under some pressure with some cold tires out there. Roman Bykov somehow leading from the GT4s from the very beginning of. I thought he was in last place for them. Jacob currently down in third position for them. And we have some spinners coming into the final turn. That's Kent Kruger and what looks like Adam Baltudis as well have spun around and find themselves at the back of the GTEs here. Back out front, it looks like Eric Foss almost has a 2-second lead there. You can see how big a 2-second lead is out on these straights here. Corey and Gunn are going to have to work together if they actually want to catch up to him. That's Jeremy trying to make a move around the outside of John Miller ahead of him in his Corvette. Tyler Pierre Richards on the inside with Steven Liston, or is that Vincent Wood, I believe. Oh, and Gunn Kim is spun around. And that is not the way they needed to work together. And there's a whole mess into turn 1 this time. Kent Kruger making some of those positions back up. He's still down 10. He's down 9. He's going to make this one stick. Craig Ream, that battle for third is happening with Michael Johnson just behind him, followed by John Miller and Jeremy Lapinus. Lapinus still trying to get around John ahead of him into the infield section here. And here are some of those drivers that got spun early on. Back for the GT4s, Roman still leading away. He's got David Fendick and the GTE class just behind him. Here's Jacob up to second after some sort of early spin for him. Let's see what had happened to Gunn when they came into T1 here. Oh, and he was coming in too hot and just got in a terrible position to be in too. Very scary. Jeremy's by John Miller here. Starting to hunt down those two ahead of him. Let's see what had happened with these guys coming into the first turn right after that had happened. Oh, he just spins it all on his own. Ends up in the wall, turns himself back around, and keeps rolling, but he loses a ton of positions as a result. Craig Ream. Oh, my goodness gracious. I've missed so much. And Eric Foss currently down in 11th. I'm trying to see what had happened to him. Yes, that's where he goes off track. Oh, but that's looks like he just outbraked himself there. Going into that final turn, I thought he had 3 seconds ahead of him. And just locking it up, not able to get that back under control. Finding himself in 10th at the moment. He's going to have to chisel his way back up. Corey Mitchell with that 3-second lead above Craig Ream, who finds himself in 2nd now. And all these guys hunting. Vincent Wood currently up 9 positions, pulling up to the back of this long train of podium potential. Stephen Liston getting done by Eric Foss there after his spin. Eric now up to 9th position. Oh, and that's Andrew Rasmussen trying to get on the inside. I know it looks so slow, but these things are so squirrely out there underneath your feet. You just don't want to give it any gas. You don't want to give it, and they just barely come together there, and Andrew Rasmussen powers through the maneuver. And Gunn is all the way down here, passing David Fendick. Here's Michael Johnson trying to make a move. Sorry, that's John Miller making move on Michael Johnson for 3rd. He's up into the podium positions, just on Craig Ream's heels in 2nd. Tyler Pierre Richards is in 5th, just behind them. Actually, that's Michael McCoy just ahead of them. And the Rogue Racing BMW. Oh, that's how powerful the slipstream is. He just has to get out of it as Michael chops off the low side. And there is no use of the apron allowed here. Here's Kenny Teal trying to get one on Bjorn. Oh, he gets real squirrely under braking, somehow holding on to that Ferrari. And he is going to hold on for another day ahead of Bjorn. Bjorn must have been alarmed seeing that go down next to him. Here's the onboard from Bjorn as he just sees this Ferrari go barreling down the inside with so much speed locking up. Corey now with a 4.2 lead out front. He's got it in the bag, which means he's probably going to spill it in a minute. Well, probably not right in a minute, but just in time for the finish. And we are still in a live session here. Let's go. That's Michael McCoy up to 4th position ahead of Michael Johnson as well. And Eric Foss, after that early slip, is only dropped 5 now. He's going to make up, he's not making up another one. That's a lap car on the outside there. Still hot in the heels of Michael Johnson and Michael McCoy. So he's just over a second back to a podium position at least. And that's, oh, he's making one up on Michael now. There goes Eric Foss into 5th position. Less than a second back to the podium. And Michael with so much top-end speed in that draft. Let's see if he's going to be able to hold on to it, but he just stalls out on the outside. There's just not the grip out there. There is not grip if you dare. And there we see Eric Foss coming on the inside and getting that move done, making it look easy. But I think everybody knew that he would become barreling back through the field and probably won't end up losing him very much time at all. That's another GT4 on the outside there. Corey, oh, Michael doesn't know where to go. Oh, and he loses a spot to Michael Johnson, and that was not pretty at all. He had to go right there. He wants to get this one back on Michael Johnson. If he could just stay door to door with him through this one and then through the next one, he could have had it, but is not able to. Oh, and that's Steven Liston, I believe. That just was that Steven that just got spun there. It's not. I don't know who that was, but not very savory from John Miller there, who's about to lose that podium position to Eric Foss. Eric might have to pull out of it, but he is very brave on the brakes, as we've seen. And I think John knows this one is coming. It's coming, and it might just be gone at the moment. And he'll have it on the next turn ahead. Michael's getting that move done on Michael. Ha! I think Michael's going to win this battle. Oh, Adam Baltutis with a spin. Richard Swindell's with some trouble of his own. Adam trying to turn it around. He's not having a good race. He's down 15 positions this race already. Gun Kim down 16 himself after that front row start, and lost it on lap 2 there. Back the battle for the GT4s is on here, with the top 3 now under half a second between them all. And here's the view from Jacobs. The three Porsches out front. I would have, oh goodness, that mixed class racing, and Jacob heads to the outside, trying to get back Matthew here. I think he's got it. He's got to stay with Roman here. He might lose it on the inside. That's Tyler Pierre Richards getting by them. That's, I don't know, and Vincent Wood trying his luck. Not going to happen for Jacob this go-round, but they're just trying to avoid traffic at the moment. Most excellent camera angle to show off that corkscrew in the middle of the infield section. Eric Foss has made his way up to second place. Craig Ream shoved down a little bit, has to deal with John Miller now behind. Michael Johnson and Michael McCoy are still battling it out. Michael Johnson back out in front, but they've fallen off that podium pack by nearly 2 seconds now. Bjorn Benches getting after Kenny Thiel ahead of him. Richard Swindells pulls up behind this little trio. And then you can see Gun Kim, who is starting to make a few places back. Craig trying to stay with Eric there. And John seemingly not quite able to stay with these guys. But he will be happy. He's already up 2 positions now. And Roman Bykoff into the dirt. That sees Matthew take over the GT4 class. Jacob is hot on his heels. Still coming after him. Just a quick reminder, Jacob was your pole sitter, having some early incidents, and oh goodness, a GT car comes out of nowhere, and oh, he gets a little butt from behind. I don't quite know who that was behind him. Seemingly was nobody. There seemed to almost be a little contact there. Jacob trying to stay in the slipstream. cut down that 3/10 lead he's got. Make that 2/10. Here they come, approaching turn 1 into the oval section to NASCAR 1. Matthew's going to stay ahead. Jacob pulls out of it. Taking a better line, though, through turn 1. He's going to pull right up on Matthew here. And they're dealing with some GTE traffic on the inside. This is going to be a little hairy as they approach. Oh, and that's Gun Kim spinning out again, managing to hold on, but losing a couple of places as he gets into that little trio with Bjorn, Kenny, and Richard. But has to pull out of it as the mixed class racing is too dense. That's Kenny taken to the outside. Matthew taken to the very inside. He's not going to get a great exit, but it's okay because Jacob was totally held up with all of that faster traffic out there. Oh, and Michael McCoy had some issues there. That's Vincent Wood just behind him there. Went off track. Let's see what happened to Michael here. Yep, the final turn just seems to be such a killer out there. Oh, and there's a car in front of him. I believe that is Steven Liston. Oh, sorry, Vincent Wood ahead of him. And just spins him out the right way. Here he is ahead of Vincent now, out onto the straights. And as always, we haven't gone over race info at all today, but we have a 50% fuel limit, so we shall see some pit stops coming in fairly soon, probably in the next 10 minutes or so. Adam Baltude is pressurizing Troy Banks. Troy's going to hold on to the inside there, gets an early turn in. And pulls up to the back of Richard Swindell's almost. Gun Kim gets by Richard Swindell's actually, and hunting down Kenny Teal ahead. Bjorn Benches has an issue. Falls behind this pack. Oh, Kenny Teal has an issue. He's into the grass. He gets back moving again just ahead of Bjorn. John Miller now closer to 5th place Michael Johnson than the 3rd place Craig Ream. Corey Mitchell with 3.5 up top. Eric Foss is pulled off 4 seconds at the moment, just barely chipping down at Corey's lead. We have Michael McCoy and Vincent Wood into the pits to take that pit stop. Might as well, since they both just picked up a tad bit of damage out onto the straights. It must be affecting that top speed, so might as well take advantage. So Vincent Wood with a 12.9, Michael McCoy with a 12.4. He does come out ahead of Vincent. Steven Liston's already been in for a 12.8 after his damage, as has Kent Kruger with a 12.6. Michael Bond and only with 8 seconds spent in the pits, and Eric Jensen only with 5.7. Very interesting. And that battle is now going to happen with Michael Johnson pulling up to the back of John Miller. Back down to the GT4. Jacob has retaken the lead. Matthew now 6 seconds off the pace there. Bryce Carter another 11 seconds back. And he's battling pretty heavily with Roman Bykov, who slipped back to fourth position. And then we have Brian Zinn, Andrew Rasmussen, and Ryan Walsh bringing up the rear. Joseph's in for his stop. And Ryan Walsh spent 32 seconds in the pits. Looks like Andrew Rasmussen came in for a quick repair. And 20 minutes down in this race, we are halfway done here with our time at Texas Motor Speedway. Coming down to turn one. John still hangs on to that inside. He's now real close to Craig Ream, though, who seems to have had an accident or a little slip up somewhere, falling back into their grasp, just 0.7 between them. And this little battle for the GT4 class starting to break up this GTE battle with Kent Kruger hunting down, that was Steven Liston just ahead of him, who is not 1.3 kilometers ahead. And that's Kent Kruger. Oh, we got it live. That's 6 cents I have for a Kruger crash. What had happened there? I be all honest, I was looking at the timing screen. It ain't quite happened. Let's watch it. Is it better live or is it better replay? Let me get your thoughts down below. Oh, and that looked like a little touch there from didn't quite catch. It was Bryce Carter and the rebellious GT4 pushes Kent Kruger out. And that's it's your GTE champion last season. Like I said, he hasn't had very fortunate races. He gets caught up in the midfield, and then it's just insanity from then. Casey's coming into the pit lane. Gunn just stopped for his, and then Jeremy Lapinus also coming in for his stop. Gunn really chugging it down out there, getting 20 seconds into the tank. Oh, Jeremy going for tires as well. And Casey is out with 11.2. Oh, and that is was your pole sitter anyways, Eric Foss, in for his stop. Completely, what? Oh, Jeremy, what is going on there, buddy? So glad we got you for that one. That's Michael Johnson in for his, as well as Douglas Doucette in the Ford GT here. Eric Foss does a 14.2 in the pits. Michael Johnson just a tenth less. John Miller here getting ahead of Craig Ream somehow, and now he is in second position. As I said, Craig was losing a little bit of time out there, so most of the drivers out there have pitted, and we see Bryce Carter coming in for a very extended amount of time. Let's see where that Jeremy ended up. He only did 18 seconds in there. Thought we had seen him get tires, as we see Adam up on the sticks for us. Most certainly it's the longer of the pit stops. We have Corey Mitchell in as well. He's in for his stop. Craig Ream, John Miller, and Tyler Pierre Richards all come in at the same time. Corey is out first, as you would expect, at 11.5. John Miller only does 10.9 in there. Craig Ream further back. Eric Foss up. Let's see where Corey Mitchell comes out and where Eric Foss is. He's gained about a second on Corey there in that pit stop, so Corey's definitely going to be starting to feel the heat in the second stint. Michael Johnson and Craig Ream coming out right into the middle of this pack. Craig Ream losing out big time to a few guys. Troy Banks hasn't pit. Michael Johnson has pit and jumps ahead of Craig Ream here as John Miller takes away that final podium position post pit stops here. Bjorn Benches comes in for his. Only a 15.1. He's getting back out there. Michael Bond hot on the heels of Kenny Teal. Troy Banks, who has not pit, finds himself up in the top 5 at the moment. And that's Craig Ream to the inside. He's just going to let him go, knowing that he has to come in, and this is probably the last bit that he could have pushed it. Troy usually pushes his pit stops as late as possible. So here he is. He is the last GTE to pit, as you can see on the screen. It's pretty much the last car to pit. We still have, let's see, Roman Bykoff owes us a pit stop. Oh, speak of the devil. And I do know that the GT4s can go a bit longer than GTEs, a little less fuel hungry with those engines. Corey's lead cut down to 1.2, 1.3, someone like that. As Eric can smell that victory again after losing 10 plus places in this race. If he gets this win back, he's not invited back. Here's Jeremy Lapinus trying one on Kenny Teal, getting that done easily. Michael Bond coming up behind them. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, and Vincent to the inside. It's going to take them both out and just create a roadblock right on the racing line. Luckily, they're pointing in the right direction to get moving again pretty quickly. Gun Kim still down 10 places, though. Not able to claw his way through the pack. Jeremy back into... Why? Did he have some issue or something? Did he not get enough the first time? I don't know, man. Half a second now. That is a lapped car in between the two leaders here. Who is that? Oh, that's Michael Bond. Splitting these guys up, thinking it's fun. I definitely would let him go. He goes to the outside, and Eric Foss is able to finally get by there. Oh, and that's Roman Bykoff who takes out the leader of Corey Mitchell. Oh, Roman, where are you? You got totally sent. Oh, goodness gracious. Here's a look from Corey Mitchell's point of view as they come into this one. Roman Bykoff hits the wall. I thought I had heard something. He bounces back off of it. Let's see what had happened. He gets out to the right-hand side here to let these guys through, and he's headed for the wall, He hits it and comes across to hit Corey Mitchell, and it was not pretty at all when they came through there. Eric Foss gets totally tossed during that whole thing. Back down to 5th place. He's now to 4th place. And he's got to do it all again. 6 seconds. He wasn't even the one hit by Roman Bykoff. Corey gets away better than he did. Oh, how unfortunate. He just pulled up to the back of him, and all these mixed class racers and everything. I think Roman was just staring way too much in the rearview mirror there and needed to get hold of his car. And that's Gun Kim getting around Troy Banks quite easily there. Craig Ream now fighting with Eric Foss. Eric maybe with some damage, not really hitting the top speeds he needs to. Such a bummer for Eric. Robbie Campbell trying the outside on Vincent Wood. Eric Jensen has been in the pits for quite a minute. Roman Bykoff returns to the pits as expected. Andrew Rasmussen's going to come across the line and take over fourth position. Bryce Carter is in sixth at the moment. Jacob Eating still has a nice healthy 5.4 second lead. Who then has like a whopping 1 minute lead over third place. Corey Mitchell now having to do with John Miller. Michael Johnson there in third position, getting hunted down by Eric Foss, who wants one of those podium positions. We got 30 minutes down at the moment. We got 10 to race. That's Kenny Teal in the foreground, getting a little bit in the way. He's fighting with Jeremy Lapinus still. These guys seemingly racing in slow motion there. The infield looks so slow, and that is the damage to Corey Mitchell's car, and that's why he's losing so much time to John Miller at the moment. And this could be very easy for John coming up to the straights here. It'll be one of the easier wins he gets this season. John takes to the inside. He gets there before any sort of lift whatsoever. Pretty much is able to keep it planted out there. Get back out to the racing line in time and get a decent cut back in there. Corey Mitchell now staring at his rear end. Eric Foss has made his way past Michael Johnson. He's up to third at least, and that's 3 seconds back. Or sorry, 3 seconds ahead to Corey Mitchell. It's quite a large ask, but Corey is suffering with a fair bit of damage. John Miller still staying just ahead of Corey. He's not doing very well in the braking zones, and Andrew Rasmussen, I don't know, seemed to come out of nowhere. Oh! And it looks like Bjorn was just tagged there by that lapped car, that lapped Ferrari there into the braking zone, spun around, and now he's got to deal with Casey just behind him. Eric Foss has got it down to a minute. Looking at Corey yet again. Sorry, not a minute, a second. Time, what is time? Having to deal with some GT4 traffic for a moment. Matthew Smotherman just trying to keep it cool. In second place for the GT4s. And it's not looking likely for Corey to hang on to the second place at all. And before they even get to that braking zone, Eric has got it done. No drama this time. And they all make it through. Michael Johnson now hot on his heels. Eric's going to try to push. He's got 1.2 up to John Miller ahead. You can now see him as he gets swamped by a lot of traffic ahead of him. Like Michael Bond in that Beamer, who is not known for... Oh, blue flags, and that's... and he gets right in the way of Eric Foss there. Almost saves it. I think Corey might have straightened him around. And that looked very sketchy there for a moment. Eric's got 5 minutes to make this happen and climb back yet again to the top step. This will be one of his greatest drives if he could do this. Just avoid the boneheads and keep his head on his shoulders for 40 minutes. Corey Mitchell not able to do anything about Brian Johnson on the straights. He's trying to outbrake him on the inside. Brian goes around the outside and carries way too much speed for Corey to deal with. Richard Swindell's into the infield, hitting the grass. John Miller holding on by just 0.7 at the moment. And that is how close Eric Foss is to another GTE win here. Just a killer battle out there. Andrew Rasmussen just barely holding on from Mr. Campbell behind him. John Miller now dealing with it all. It's Richard Swindell's in the foreground. It's going to be some lap traffic in a moment for them. Into the braking zone they go. Richard on the driving line. Both of them going real shallow into turn 1. 3.5 to race. Oh, and that's Craig Ream trying to have a bite at Corey Mitchell as well. He sees that damage. He's going to try to make up that position by the end of the race. You can definitely smell it. Andrew Rasmussen trying to get that final podium position just ahead of him. And there is Craig Ream on the inside. Corey relegated down to 5th position after that big crash from Roman Bykov. Oh, John really squarely into the braking zone. Eric tries to get back on the gas too hard to get the cutback on him. It's not going to happen at this moment. John not having to do too much defending, just avoiding the lap traffic, which has not hindered him a great deal since Eric Foss has pulled up to him. And just be fast. Less defense, more speed, more haste out there. Half a second between them as they come out onto the straights. And Eric not necessarily making up all the time in the world that you'd expect to see on the straights. He's cutting it down a little bit. And he's going to try to cut back on him here and try to get that purchase, go side by side with him. Not able to do it. And John is really having to struggle to keep that Corvette ahead. As we go, we are currently on perhaps our final lap of the race. And there's all sorts of mixed traffic there as they negotiate through the infield. Here's the view from Eric Foss as we come onto the oval section for perhaps the final time of the race. We might have one more lap if these guys cross this, the line with 20 to go. Oh, and Eric has got it done on the inside before we even get there. But we're going to have yet another lap so John can have another bite of the cherry. There's 9 seconds still to race as they come across the line. We're going to have another lap of racing out there. And now we were out of race time. Eric, right at the death, gets back to first place. He's overtaken about 20 people. He's made about 20 overtakes this whole race from first place. It's pretty amazing. And he is finally using his lights for the first time in this race, really starting to feel the pressure. And Casey is not giving it up easily, and they almost made contact in the last turn of the race. Eric Foss is going to run away with it, and John Miller is 0.8 back. It's not going to happen for him. He's going to take second, but still a great race for him. Michael Johnson just behind them. He's going to be up 5 positions this race into the final podium spot. Craig Ream is going to have to settle for 4th, and Corey Mitchell in 5th. Congratulations, Eric Foss. Thank you very much for joining us. Look at his best time of 1:11.8. His last one was a 1:12.7. Very impressive on those old tires. Thank you to everybody for joining us here this evening. What an awesome killer race we just had. Right to the death. We got a little time. Why not? Let's readjust it slightly. See if we can't actually read our race results this evening. Whoops. It is so annoying. Nothing like doing it on the fly. That's good enough for me, folks. Let's run you down. That's Eric Foss from pole position, losing all of the spots and managing to get back at it. John Miller is going to come in 2nd position. Michael Johnson rounds out the top 3. Craig Ream settles for 4th and Corey for 5th. That's Tyler Pierre Richards in 6th place. Michael McCoy will take 7th. Then we have Vincent Wood in 8th. Douglas Doucette in 9th. Robbie Campbell rounds out our top 10. Gun Kim from the front row of the grid has a bad race for him. Very unfortunate. Down in 11th he finishes. Troy Banks in 12th. Bjorn benches. Casey Kuntz, Richard Swindells, Richard Teal, Kent Kruger down in 17th. Michael Bond in 18th. Let's do the GT4s real quick. And that's Jacob Eating from pole position, having some issues as well, and also coming back for that race win. Matthew Smotherman is good enough for 2nd. Brian Zinn slots into 3rd. Andrew Rasmussen comes 4th, followed by Bryce Carter, Ryan Walsh, Roman Bykoff, And Jim did not grid with us there. We do not have any points for those guys, so we will set that up as well. As always, make sure you join us for tomorrow night. Not as always, actually, because it's a special session. We're doing Thursdays on Wednesdays, so everybody can have the 4th of July off. What am I even talking about this evening? I wish I never started it. So everybody can have New Year's Eve off. And we're going to do the GT1s and the GT3s tomorrow night here to wrap up our time at Texas Motor Speedway. So be sure to join us again. We know you ain't doing nothing. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Take it easy.